away my heart all on my sleeve. Yeah. That's why I had to put my wrist on freeze. Coming for the win, can't take another L. Designer on me, this that new Chanel. Did that splash, did that drip. Yeah, champion, yeah, we here. Yeah, this the winning team. 6 rings with a pinky ring. Everybody used to pick at me, now I'm the one that they picking. Snakes out, they hit scene, but I can't hear it when the crowd screams. Still ballin' like an offspring. This for all the ones that doubted me. Gotta lose once to be a true winner. Only want the hunters with the blues in it. Eating blood across it where the blood dinner. Juice stay turned like, you know. I've been through that water like Olympic swimmers. Only bread and butter what we ate for dinner. So I had to dream it till the dream is bigger. Only want the gold, we don't need the silver. Gotta be number 1, number 2 never count. Used to have bubble guts competition, now point them out. Making my babies proud, wanna call my mama a house. Coming straight out the south, gotta know juice to end the drought. Yeah, I bought like 23. Won't fall again, and I put that on me. Yeah, I feel away my heart all on my sleeve. Yeah, that's why I had to put my wrist on freeze. Coming for the win, can't take another L. Designer on me, this that new Chanel.
With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Cleveland Browns. Time for a much-needed and much-welcome diversion. The NFL is back. Here we go, Week 1. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give him 7 there on the first down carry.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Working out of the gun, Mayfield into double coverage, and it's intercepted. It's the rookie linebacker, Patrick Queen, and they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. That's kind of a double whammy. I mean, the interception on the opening drive, that's one thing, but to give him this field position, that's another.
Absolutely perfect start for this defense. They take the ball away on the opening possession. They know that their offense will get the ball to start the second half. They line them up in field goal position, and to me, they got a chance for a touchdown right here out of the gate.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run for the first time with J.K. Dobbins. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
He's tackled. Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big runs late in games. J.K. Dobbins going to Baltimore, an absolute perfect fit.
Flushed out right. The ball comes out. And I think the Browns got it. They did. A disappointing end of the sequence there. He was starting to turn nothing into something, and then he lost the football.
And sometimes things get lost in the transition. And what I mean by that is you go from being a passer to a runner. And at a certain point, once you cross the line of scrimmage, you're strictly a runner now. There's no more downfield threat. Make sure you take care of the football while you're traversing downfield.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he goes out right around the 39. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. You might remember Nick Chubb. He had a heck of a game last year in Week 4 in what turned out to be a 40-25 Browns win over these Ravens. He finished with 165 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns. Of course, never feared for the Ravens, though. After that loss, they went on a run. They would win their next 12 in a row to finish the regular season at 14-2. This is Janovich. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
And while it didn't work very well on that play, defenders on 3rd and short know it's going to be a quick read. And really, the quarterback's just going to turn around and hand it off. So that way, you're able to diagnose the play and try and get to the point of attack. But when you're dealing with a fullback, it's hard to knock him backwards.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
That's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They run it again with Janovich. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. And a nice run to get him past the original line of scrimmage. A gain of 7. It's 2nd and 8 now.
2nd and 8 at their 48-yard line.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. From just shy of midfield, Mayfield, and finding the tight end Hooper.
Mayfield's pass.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
18 on the play. 1st down, Cleveland.
They run again on 1st down, Chubb. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 more on that one and another 1st down.
And a nice carry and a 1st down for Cleveland. A nice pickup there by Nick Chubb, who's a bright spot for this Cleveland offense. He finished 2nd in the league in rushing in 2019 with nearly 1,500 yards on the ground and got into the end zone 8 times. And how about this for durability? Has not missed a game in his NFL career. What a bounce back from a big-time knee injury while at the University of Georgia.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Mayfield gives this one to Hunt. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
They'll run with Chubb, and he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, I know a defensive coordinator is going to be pretty excited about what he just saw there. Great knockback by their front. And now with the ball where it is, I would expect to see the offense throw the ball on 2nd and 3rd down here.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. He's going to take off with it. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
6-yard line.
We're scoreless after 1.
Quarter with no score.
The start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football as they'll see what they can do on 3rd and goal. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A 6-yard touchdown run as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Well, we had the scoreless first quarter of play. We sure didn't have to wait long into the 2nd quarter to get some action on the scoreboard.
So was the first quarter a feeling out process? I mean, that was an interesting quarter, wasn't it? Because we had some action, we had some good play. Just didn't have any points. So now it's game on.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here. And that is intercepted by the Pro Bowl quarterback Denzel Ward. And he's got room. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sends his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. A nice run there, 8 yards, moves him much closer to the goal line now for 3rd down. A big play if you think about it right now in this season opener. It's 3rd and goal. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the 1st quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the 2nd. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but To go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
And 12 at the 25-yard line.
Going for Boykin, but it is intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Gain of 2.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
And it's 3rd down.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up 4th down. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. Throwing, Mayfield. And it's complete. Hooper. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. Running with Hunt here out of the shotgun. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Out of the gun, they run it with Hunt. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. Here's Mayfield. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
And now he's going to use his legs. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Jackson always a threat to run. He's got the first down. He was the NFL's leading rusher among QBs a year ago. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. On 3rd down, here's Dobbins. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. 1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. 9 big yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
2nd and 1.
From the 16, Jackson. That'll be complete to Dobbins. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
1st and 10 at the 15-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. The quick slant caught. And the Ravens are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. From the gun, it's Jackson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Nick Boyle in the final seconds of the first half. And the Ravens cut into that lead. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. And a lot of football, full half to be played. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, we'll see if week one fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Second half starts with a run by Dobbins. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Off the play fake to Dobbins, here's Jackson. That's complete to his running back, J.K. Dobbins. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
That play was well covered. Just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, not able to find any yardage on that one.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Jackson to throw. Oh, for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing, they're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they can actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Hunt, the ball carrier.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield, eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds.
1st and goal, Cleveland.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. They'll try again with Chubb. Down at the 2. Broke through first contact, but ultimately stopped shy of the goal line. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now. They'll give it to Chubb. And did he get in? Yes, they say it's a touchdown.
Touchdown.
Nick Chubb with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Browns take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17.
Browns 24, Ravens 7.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
but that boy's a gangster. Focusing on me, we're from Tel Aviv. Barbados with the hustle pockets, LIDs.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all. Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
Denzel Ward, the number 4 pick in the 2018 draft, making the tackle from his corner spot. 2nd and 10, third quarter of the season opener. Play action. Now Jackson sliding out of the pocket. And that is incomplete. He was looking for Nick Boyle that time. And it's third down.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable. And that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat. And if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Yeah, this is away, and I don't think Landry will get a chance to return here. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Browns drive about to get started. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
The 25-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They run it again with Chubb. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, but it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
And it brings up 3rd down.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Mayfield down. Now Mayfield lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they will take over with a football just outside of the 10 at the 12-yard line.
Well, that's the down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him. Sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did. Yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
Well, I can certainly tell my age, partner, because when I was a kid, running backs like J.K. Dobbins with over 2,000 yards in their final season in college, they went early in the draft. Instead, he somehow lasted until the 2nd round. But how great is it to get a guy with that ability who can run it inside, run to the perimeter, and catch the football out of the backfield? To be able to get him in the 2nd round, that's what I call a steal.
They'll try to run with Dobbins. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins with his 1st career touchdown in his 1st career game. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
24.
Tucker with the extra point. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will make it into the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over. The other team takes it down and scores. That could be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Mayfield to throw it. He's got Hooper on the short connection. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Mayfield looks to throw. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Tavon Young. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. That is the play they needed in a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
No doubt about it. They did what they had to do to give themselves a chance to get back into the game. They turned it over to the offense. They are now in charge.
Now they need to execute. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Jackson. He's going to find his tight end, Boyle. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Jackson. Forced out to his left. That's into the hands of the tight end, Boyle. And out of bounds right around the 20. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Jackson on 1st down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
A 2-yard loss brings up 3rd down and 12.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Mack Wilson. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
The Browns drive about to get started. They have to like the position that they are in. 4th quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Yannick Ngakoue in on the stop.
2nd and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. To throw, Mayfield. Now they go screen. It's complete. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. They're looking at 3rd and the nose of the football. Chubb on the counter. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Here's Jamie Gillendown as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
At their own 17-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens.
3rd down and 12.
Out of the gun, they give to Ingram. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to about the 19. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. That's taken in by Duvernay. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll pull it down. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Jackson to throw. Flush to his right. And he's going to keep it here. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs. Able to improvise and get the first.
1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. Open man is Duvernay. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. They go play action now. Jackson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
Second and 10 from the 33-yard line. They go play action with Jackson. He'll buy some time right. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 11 yards there. First down. Now Dobbins. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's second and 7. This will be caught just inside the 10. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3.
Partner, you know when we call a game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed and his elusiveness and the ability to get him on the ground, how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower, as a professional?
Here's Jackson. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Well, Lamar Jackson remembers 7 rushing touchdowns in his MVP season of 2019, and he's into the end zone here as well.
And when you hear that 7 rushing touchdowns in 2019, doesn't it surprise you a little bit?
Yeah, you almost expect more, right?
Yeah, in your mind, you're thinking Lamar Jackson got in the end zone a bunch more. That might be what he does in 2020.
To kick off for Baltimore.
And this will be recovered by the Browns hands team, and that should just about write a finish to this one. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and he stopped immediately there. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game.
At the 46-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10. And again, it's Chubb. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
The tackle by John.
No gain on that one as it brings up a third and 10.
Gain on the play. Brings up third down.
An important play right here, third and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
On third down, it's Nick Chubb. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll punt it away for the second time.
Today's final.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for the Browns, it wasn't always pretty, but they do eke out the Week 1 victory here by a field goal. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.